Hello, I'm Mark Lowe, and I'm here to work with you on some new research tips. I've just been with a group of folks and heard some great ideas, and I wanted us to share some stuff together. So we're going to look at Fold3 and actually just another way to look for a record. So join me. And I know how much we all love access to Fold3 and all the records that are there, and there's so much detail. So I want to show you a different way to get into it, because I know you're all familiar with you go in and do a search and you look for the person. But I want to take you through a different approach, and one that I'm often using, particularly if I kind of know the record I want to look at. Okay, so let's do an example here, and we're going to browse. And so what the first thing it's going to do is going to show us all the countries for which there are records. And I am going to be using the United States. Notice it's already checked for me. And then I want to actually look for somebody's service in the War of 1812. So I'm going to scroll down. I click all. And I'm going to move down. I could type actually War of 1812. But look, I just want you to see what all is there. Because I think sometimes people think, oh, you can't search for all this. Well, look what's actually there. Now, again, it's not every record for all of those conflicts, but there's a lot more there than you even realize is available. So, number one, we're going to spend some time in other sessions just talking about, have you looked at this lately? Have you considered? But today, we want to look for a War of 1812 record. And look, there's so much there, so I just wanted to go slow and let you see that I could have chosen any of these, okay? And they're kind of in the order of the ones most used, for example. So it's not quite that difficult. Makes you want to go look right now, doesn't it? There's a lot there. One of the things I've spent kind of the weekend with a group of folks in Alabama. We had a great time. Is the thought of how do you get to records? And I think that's the story of all good genealogists. The job that we have to do is to find how do we get to the records of the time period. Does that make sense? All right. So there is the War of 1812, and I'm just going to click check that. Done. Notice up here at the top in the search box now, I have USA and the War of 1812. Now, the particular record, I could type a name, and I have done this before. Sometimes typing the name does not take me to, or the record sometimes I'm looking for does not show up. And that's often a situation of spelling or an indexing reference, because they really tries to do a sound X and find a record for you. But in this, I'm actually going to look directly for the record. Okay? So two of the things I probably would look at, I could look for final payment vouchers if I thought the person had a pension. But right now, I really just want to see if I could find a service record for this individual. Okay? So I'm looking for, here we go, War of 1812 Service Record Index. Now, if I want to know what that is, I can click on the little information tab, and it's going to tell me. Now, what it also is going to do in this case, since I clicked on that, it's going to take me to that so that I can actually type the person's name in there for this record, okay? But I'm going to go back to where we were, okay? And I'm just going to click on War of 1812 Service Record Index. Now, if I know the state where the person served from, that's certainly helpful, okay? And in this case, I'm going to go and I'm going to do Tennessee. Come up with S. And now notice the difference. I've got actually 2 John Shankles. I have 2 George and a Jesse. I could look, and so I'm going to look at each of those. So there is the first John, private, and I'm going to look at the record, and indicates that he was in the Metcalf's West Tennessee Militia, a private. Okay? All right? And that should be a card by itself. Now, there's another John Shankle that's in Wynn's West Tennessee Militia. They could be related in the sense that they could be the same person, but there's the one for Metcalf, okay? And notice there's two cards. There's two cards in there for the Metcalf. One for Wynn, and then there's the reference card. So they're showing a cross-reference back to that individual. Okay? Now, that's what I was looking for. And I would make the notation and follow through on that. So basically what I did is I went to Browse, US, and then the conflict that I wanted to follow, and then I looked at the various record groups. And from that point, that led me to the records that existed. Particularly if I'm having a problem with spelling, or I just want to look at all the people of that surname. Or if I know particularly that they're part of a particular group, that might help me narrow it down. Okay, so I've shown you how to go directly to a record or for a person within a record group directly. So rather than doing a broader search, you're doing a specific record. Go look at the other session that'll be follow it if you want to review again how to do a broader search. But I often am looking within a particular record group, and that's what the example was today. Either way, be persistent. Good researchers always try new techniques, new tips, and we're trying to learn something new every day. So join me when you have a chance. Take care. Have a great day.